There's finally Flames hockey this week, but everyone is still talking about the Elias Lindholm trade. Everyone's talking about how the Flames got Kuzmenko and a first round pick back, but no one is talking about one of the other pieces in that trade. Welcome to Flames Digest. I'm Mark Griffith, and just quickly I want to say that over 95% of you guys watching are not subscribed. So if you're a big Flames fan and you like what you see here, just make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can be updated on all of the latest Flames news, updates, rumors, reports. And like I said, the big trade. Everyone's still buzzing about it because, there's nothing else to really get us distracted yet. But the one guy who no one's really talking about all that much, and maybe it's for fair reason, there's just not enough talk about Yoni Yermo. Already I've made a video, talking about Hunter Brusevich. We talked about Kuzmenko a lot, the first round pick. There's also a fourth round pick in there, but whatever. Let's disregard that one. But Yoni Yermo, this guy right here, he almost looks like a lost Hemsworth brother or something. He could definitely play some sort of Norse god, just like Thor, something like that. And let me tell you why. Because he's huge. He's just a big offensive forward. So these are some of his attributes. Obviously, he's still very young, just 21 years old. He's Finnish, as you could probably tell from that last photo. He's got a left shot. He's 6'4". Some places I've seen he's 6'5". Either way, he's tall, he's big, and 190 pounds is obviously big as well. So he's got some great attributes on paper, of course, and I know a lot of you guys have been talking in the comments about, well, Yoni Yermo, let's just disregard him. He's not doing too well. And you know what? It is true that he's not having a great season right now. He can't really seem to be producing many points. He's not getting many goals. And that's not what you want in a prospect, especially a forward. You'd rather have, a forward who can score as one of your best prospects. Is he one of our best prospects? I don't know. I'm not going to say that. But he definitely has loads and loads and loads of potential. And it's great looking at, his draft report and what some of the scouts say on their scouting reports for prospects. And he's quick. He's quick. For being that big, he is quick. And like I showed, he's huge as well. So you can throw the body around a bit. He can just be a force out there. And honestly, he's very smooth skating as well. I talked about how Brusevich, just from the back, can be a very, very, smooth skating, good guy with the puck. Yoni Yermo, he's also a great skater. That's what you'd expect out of most young guys these days. That's just fundamentals of what they teach you growing up playing hockey. But Yoni Yermo, he could definitely be the guy. Not the guy, but a guy who could make the squad at some point. And like I said, he's not doing great across the pond. But you know what? I think he's shown that he can be really good. He had a pretty strong World Junior campaign a couple years ago. So the building blocks are there. They just need to execute. If they can sign him for, an AHL deal where he can kind of just prove that he can play the North American game, then I think he could really develop into a great player. Not a player that, you'd expect to be getting lots of goals and maybe not even be in the lineup every night for the Flames. But think of some of the guys who we have who play, 30 games a season or so after they've proven what they can do in the AHL. Yoni Yermo can easily achieve that, and I think he's definitely just a fantastic player. But on that note of just the Lindholm trade and everything that's gone on this year, we got to talk about this Conroy masterclass. Come on. He is dealing, and he's doing fantastic. I'm so happy with what Conroy has done so far. He's shown that he's a great GM. Obviously it's early days in these trades, and you can see how a trade really doesn't look great after it's aged. Remember when we originally got Huberdeau and Weegar? We thought, oh my goodness, this is a fantastic trade. Tkachuk didn't want to be here anyway. What a great return. And then it's kind of turned into the most lopsided trade I can remember in a long time. But either way, let's talk about the other trade that Conroy made this year. And if you guys don't remember, earlier this season, Zadorov was traded to Vancouver just like Lindholm was, and the Flames got back a 5th round pick, which is actually Chicago's pick, so it's higher in the round than it would be if it was just Vancouver's, and a third round pick as well. Now keep in mind what the Flames got back for Lindholm. A first round pick, a conditional fourth, a couple great prospects, especially one really good prospect, and Andrei Kuzmenko, which means, so let me tally this up. The Flames gave away Zadorov and Lindholm, two guys who maybe weren't going to re-sign here, definitely not for what they were asking for in terms of a contract, and got back Kuzmenko, a scoring forward, and I definitely think he will hit 20 goals by the end of the season. He's at 8 now, 12 to go in the last 30 whatever games left. I think it's definitely doable. A first round pick, wonderful. Hunter Brustevich, wonderful. Yoni Yermo, maybe he'll be the biggest steal. Who knows? I mean, that's really going the extra mile, but come on, you got to speculate around here. And then obviously a third round pick, a fifth round pick, and a conditional fourth. I can't remember if I said that already. But either way, 4 picks total, 2 prospects, and a scoring forward for 2 guys who weren't going to stay here. But what's the one thing that no one's really mentioning that's huge about both those deals, especially the Lindholm deal? Connie's retaining none of the contract, which means he is balling with just bags of cash. The Flames have so much cap space left. And I mean, it's just fantastic. Retained 0% of either contract. And it's not like they were the smallest contracts either. He got rid of the full things. And that's fantastic. Retaining 0%, especially of Lindholm's, to a team like Vancouver, who, they're going to be in quite the cap crunch very soon. I don't know how he did it. He did just an amazing job, and I couldn't be more proud and just so pleased with how he's done this. I believe the Flames have gotten so much back for what they've given up, and especially retaining 0% of the contracts and leaving that much cap space. The Flames, there's an endless possibility of what they can do for the remainder of the trade season. I mean, who knows who will be going where and what they can do with the salary cap. I think since they have so much cap space, it really shows that, it's more of a retooling than a rebuild. Teams that are rebuilding completely, I mean, they have all the cap space in the world, and then they get too many good prospects and picks and whatnot, and then they pay them all too high, and then they are in a major cap crunch. We've seen that with many, many teams, especially the Canadian teams out east. I can't imagine the same thing will be happening to Montreal, but look, they're getting a bunch of picks now too, so I don't know. I hope the Flames are kind of the innovators, the leaders in how to really retool opposed to a rebuild, and then they can contend soon, but obviously we will see. Earlier, I mentioned, hey, the Flames, you know what? We actually play hockey this week. So let's take a look at the upcoming schedule. The Flames, they haven't played since well over a week ago, Saturday of a couple weeks ago against Chicago, that barn burner of a 1-0 win against Chicago. But the Flames are actually going on a bit of a road trip here. So these are the next 4 games. This takes us early into next week. And all teams out east, so a little eastern road trip. We got the Bruins, who are just playing incredible right now. And then the Devils, not playing too hot, but I mean, after the All-Star break, maybe they'll lock in a bit. And then the 2 New York teams, which are interesting teams, because any given night, they could win. Definitely expect that Islanders game to probably go out of regulation. But I don't know. What do you guys think? How many wins out of those 4 do you think the Flames will get? Do you think the Flames will try and show that they can win still and make a push for the playoffs? Or, I don't know. It is interesting to see. This is where we sit in the standings as of right now. So 5 points out of the second wild card, way back in the Pacific standings. I mean, I don't even know why I'm including those at this point. It's kind of a 3-horse race there. And then if LA can get going again, they're right back in it. They fired Todd McClellan, so who knows how well they'll be doing. But yeah, the Flames, I don't know. I don't know if it's right to be winning a bunch, but who knows? After this shakeup, and then if Hanifin goes, if Tanev goes, if Markstrom goes, I know that's been thrown around like crazy lately. If Vladar gets sent out, if Mangiapane gets sent out, I mean, it's interesting to see. Do you guys think they should make a push for the playoffs, or do you think, just kind of ride out the rest of the plan? The conploy, as I coined it yesterday, but yeah, I don't know. I think it's very interesting to see what the Flames... I personally think how the Flames do on this upcoming road trip will really show what the plan is for the rest of the season. If they just get smoked in these 4 games and, you know, come home and they are just dejected, then that's it. Just commit more to like a major retooling, we'll call it, not quite the rebuild. But either way, it's exciting that there's actually Flames hockey back this week. I'll obviously keep you updated with how the Flames have done and just a bit of some game reactions, stuff like that. So Bruins tomorrow, that'll be a very fun game to really see how legit the Flames are after these new moves. The last thing I just quickly wanted to talk about, since we talked about the newest Flame in this video, I also just wanted to quickly mention that one of the oldest Flames, Lanny McDonald, actually had a bit of a cardiac episode on his way back to Calgary after being in Toronto for the All-Star weekend. Here's the statement that Lanny made on Instagram. So I'll just read it really quickly here. It's true that even old tough guys, perfect way to describe them, need some help sometimes. Today, I want to extend my overwhelming gratitude to many members of our community. After spending a weekend wowed by hockey's best at the All-Star game in Toronto, I had a cardiac event after arriving back at the Calgary airport yesterday. 2 selfless nurses who were passing by to catch their own flights immediately jumped into action. In the rush of the moment, Ardell wasn't able to get their names, but we are eternally grateful for their care and action. I owe them my life. So I just wanted to update you and say that Lanny is recovering well in hospital right now, and obviously we'll keep him in our thoughts and just send all of our love to him and hope that he is doing okay. I will keep you completely updated on the Lanny McDonald situation. We obviously hope for the best captain in NHL history. That about does it for this video. If you like what you saw here today, make sure you subscribe. Loads of content will be coming up throughout the trade season. And I mean, like I said, there's some games this week, which is pretty fun. Get to talk about some actual play of hockey and not just more of the management side. But regardless, I really appreciate your guys' support. You guys have been phenomenal throughout the infancy of this channel. So I really, really appreciate it. You guys are fantastic. And yeah, I'm super happy we're building a great community here. Love the Flames. I'm glad you guys love what's going on here too. And just make sure you have a wonderful rest of your day.